It's an undisputed reality that the South African economy desperately needs more successful, sustainable entrepreneurs and millions of new employment opportunities, especially in rural areas of the country. Yet many rural communities living in economically disadvantaged nodes have access to profitable beekeeping natural resources that they are not aware of nor currently benefiting from. The Bushbuck Ridge region of Mpumalanga, situated close to the iconic Kruger National Park, has some of the highest levels of economic hardship and unemployment in South Africa. Although a highly impoverished rural region, Bushbuck Ridge, with its livestock watering points and bee-friendly indigenous bush, fruit trees and blue gum plantations, is highly suitable for the production of unpolluted organic honey. The global shortage of honeybee products, especially those that comply with organic and fair trade standards, means that there are exceptional opportunities for trained beekeepers in unpolluted rural areas. Numerous in-depth studies in South Africa and abroad have recommended beekeeping as an excellent vehicle for rural development in emerging economies. Although some methods of beekeeping are unsustainable, beekeeping can have a very low environmental impact and tremendous environmental, agricultural and social benefits. Tanzania, Angola, Ethiopia and more recently Zambia have seen thousands of small-scale farmers being lifted out of poverty through beekeeping. Before African honeybee, however, the South African experience of rural beekeeping projects has been one of disappointment and failure. African honeybee is a Christian social enterprise with specific expertise in high-tech organic beekeeping, rural development and marketing. Through the African honeybee model, family-owned and operated micro-beekeeping businesses can profitably participate in the global organic and fair trade honey markets, something that would be virtually impossible to achieve as individual uncoordinated subsistence beekeepers. These individual family-owned and operated micro-beekeeping businesses are the foundation unit of the African honeybee franchise model. They are what makes the African honeybee approach unique and distinguishes us from other unsuccessful projects. A 100-hive micro-beekeeping business costs 140,000 Rand or $17,500 to establish. Each hive consists of 3 supers, 3 floor lids, 33 frames, 2 inner covers, a strap and a feeder. Once the business has paid off its loan, it will generate an average net monthly income of 6,000 Rand or $750, a huge improvement on the current average of 420 Rand or $52 per family per month. African honeybee's model of micro-franchising is able to effectively address the issues of critical mass, appropriate structures, training, logistical support and access to market in a way that increases development beekeeper retention in the industry. The concept is based on incubating beekeepers through commercially viable incubation hubs that employ, train and mentor the beekeepers over an 18-month period. Once the beekeepers have completed the incubation process, they become fully fledged African honeybee franchisees. 100 beekeeping businesses, each realistically working with 100 hives, can collectively produce 360 tons and more of honey on an annual basis, and in the process move entire communities from a lifetime of dependency to a life of significance. This is a big and audacious goal, which can only be achieved through the establishment of economically viable clusters of beekeepers. By partnering with these beekeepers and providing them with access to ongoing technical and logistical support. By providing them with access to global markets and premium revenues. And by authentically living out the biblical admonition, if a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to them, "Go in peace, be warmed and filled," without giving them the things needed for the body, what good is that? In 2011, 100 beekeepers from more than 5,000 applicants throughout Bushbuck Ridge were selected and organized into hubs. they received extensive ongoing training. To date, they have completed 22 unit standards towards a national qualifying framework level 1 learnership and ongoing mentorship according to the standards prescribed in the comprehensive African Honeybee Manual. The beekeepers received safety clothing and beekeeping equipment including veils, gloves, smokers, and hive tools. Each owns beehives and beehive stands. 2 senior beekeeper mentors work directly with the hubs, transferring knowledge and monitoring the beekeepers. We have completed business plans for both the franchisees and the franchisor and raised more than 4 million rand in grant funding for the 2011 test phase from organizations such as AgriCETA, AusAid, the APSA Foundation, and the Community Works Program. Extensive research of failed rural development programs in South Africa shows that insufficient training, lack of ongoing support, and inappropriate technology are 3 of the biggest obstacles to sustainable success. African Honeybee has developed a unique method of beekeeping that combines the best of African and Western apiculture. The honeybee-friendly AfriFrame prevents the spread of diseases, eliminates the necessity of expensive infrastructure and processes, and enables the beekeeping businesses to qualify as zero CO2 emissions enterprises. Members of the African Honeybee core leadership team have a genuine passion for social development, matched by years of proven real-world experience. Guy Stubbs, African Honeybee's founder, is a Christian social entrepreneur who has been involved in social development for more than 25 years and has developed specialist experience and expertise in developmental beekeeping. While African Honeybee is a small force for social change and rural economic development, we strive to apply best practice in corporate governance to all aspects of our financial and people management. Our core principles include transparency, accountability, multiplying talents, commitment to excellence, and non-discriminatory servant leadership. Each beekeeper within the African Honeybee model has the potential to produce approximately 36 kilograms of premium honey per hive annually. In other words, 3.6 metric tons of honey from their 100 hives. It has been predicted that with our natural resources, South Africa's honey production could be as high as 10,000 tons per annum. African Honeybee has already secured strong letters of interest from Co-op, Switzerland's premier organic and fair trade supermarket group, for table honey, as well as with Barristore, also in Switzerland, who are interested in industrial honey. Locally, Pick n Pay and Woolworths have also indicated their interest in stocking African Honeybee's products, which will be South Africa's first organic and fair trade accredited honeybee products. When a consumer scans the QR code on each jar of honey, they will immediately be able to see the exact beekeeper who produced that batch, the exact location on Google Earth of where the hives that produced the batch are located. In other words, the consumer will be able to do their own traceability and verify their organic and fair trade accreditation, and then pay conventional honey-related prices for their organic fair trade accredited honey. Best of all is that the consumer will be able to communicate directly with the beekeeper via social media. Our dream is, through available technology, to create a village market environment on a global scale. To become self-sustaining, African Honeybee requires an investment of 5 million rand or $625,000, which will be made up as a combination of equity and loans for the incubator. The micro beekeeping businesses will also require loans of 140,000 rand or $17,500 each. The investment opportunity offered by African Honeybee is unusually sweet, in that it is a commercially viable project that significantly improves the well-being of people and planet. The program scores high marks in terms of promoting sustainable micro-enterprise development, addressing solutions for food security, capacity building, poverty relief, organic agriculture, preserving biodiversity, enhancing agriculture through pollination, and creating new niche export markets. The African Honeybee Program is a true broad-based black economic empowerment initiative that creates jobs and stimulates economic development. From an environmental perspective, the venture contributes directly towards environmental protection, and the micro beekeeping business operations qualify as zero CO2 emissions enterprises. An example of other environmental benefits are where we are working with Sabi Sand Game Reserve to explore solutions for saving trees from elephants and protecting rhinos with honeybees. From a food security perspective, villagers are already reporting increased yields from their home vegetable and fruit gardens. And economically, the program will directly benefit the impoverished producer communities with a substantial annual cash injection into the local economy as clusters of 10 micro beekeeping businesses are incubated every 18 months. So bottom line, our model is commercially viable and sustainable, with African Honeybee expected to deliver robust financial returns, providing a solid basis for accelerated expansion into the next phases when further owner-operated micro beekeeping businesses will add value to the system. The returns, besides being commercially viable, with an IRR greater than 24% expected, are very attractive. We have heard about triple bottom line. I present to you a five-fold bottom line, including a social, environmental, food security, economic, and kingdom-based return on your investment. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Further information about African Honeybee and my contact details are available on www.africanhoneybee.co.za.
Oh, Manenberg!